What's up, guys? Welcome back to the FNG Academy. Buck here, former Green Beret, here to help you guys get selected. Alright guys, before we start this episode, I just want to do a quick shout out to my boy and fellow Green Beret, Spencer from Alpha Country. He sent me these dope ass shirts and this sick hat. I love it. His gear is super cool. I'll put a link down below so you guys can go try to scoop it up before he sells it all out. And for the record, I know Luke was asking about this before. It's not a mullet, all right? It's a mohawk. So get off my back. So today we're going to talk about officer or enlisted. And honestly, guys, that's a great question. And if I were talking to my kid right now, or my brother came up to me and asked me like, hey, what should I do, officer or enlisted? All day long, I'm going to say, get your degree and go officer. Because I want them to have the best quality of life possible, I would hands down pick Air Force officer. There you go. Done. Send it. But that's not why you guys are here. You guys are here to want to pursue special forces and special operations communities. So, can that be done in other units? Absolutely. But my advice does slightly change when I'm talking about special forces specifically for the officer program. You need to understand the pros and cons between going officer and going enlisted. So, officer, you join wanting to go Special Forces Green Beret. Well, you can't just sign up right away and then go right to selection. You have to be a first lieutenant promotable before you could even put in your packet and then go to selection. So you're going to have to sign up, do all your training, go to a unit and serve with your unit for a while until you get that first lieutenant promotable status before you're allowed to go to selection. So there's a lot more that you're going to have to put in before you start to get to see the ball rolling with Special Forces. That being said, if you sign up enlisted, you could sign an 18X contract and you're going through all the training right to selection without any stops. It's just a linear path straight to SF. If you pass everything right out the gate, you'll be an E6, making good money and right on a team. So those are the first things that you need to think about when you're deciding whether or not to be officer enlisted. Second thing to think about when you want to be officer enlisted for the SF route, and that is team time. Being on the team is probably the best experience you're going to have in group. It's awesome. It's where all your fun's at. It's where the war's at. It's where you're having fun with your boys. That's the time that you want. Enlisted, you're going to get to your company. You're going to get assigned to a team, and you could do from 3 to 5 years on that team before you have to go do your SWIC time, which is your instructor time. And then you come back and you can get back on the team as a senior NCO that has done his SWIC time. Then you could even take that team sergeant position at some point when you're E7 promotable or E8. So a lot more team time with the enlisted route. The officers, they're going to only get like 2 years to 3 years max on an ODA before they have to go do, hopefully they're getting a company position and they're promoting, that track becomes a desk job from there on out. So one buddy of mine, he's a great officer. We graduated together. He ended up getting shot in Afghanistan. He's a great dude. Lance, if you're out there, I fucking miss you, man. You're such an awesome dude. Last we talked, he was going to drop his commission to go warrant officer because he was the type of dude that wanted to stay on the teams. And he didn't want to just keep promoting through company ranks and things like that. So that is another big thing that you have to think about when it comes to officer or enlisted with the SF route. So that being said, let's take SF out of it. Hands down, go officer. More money, more respect. I mean, you're just getting a better all-around treatment and quality of life. On the teams, though, you're not going to be running and gunning with us. Like, maybe you could jump in the stack for sure, but you're responsible for signing off on the training, coordinating with command, where your team is going in the future, how you plan on getting there, working with your team sergeant to overall run that team. So while we're all training, getting our gun on and figuring out how to shoot the Carl G's and AT4s and RPGs, all the weapon systems, whatever training we're doing, you're not really going to be there taking part of it. Just speaking personally, our officer, when we were out gunning in Afghanistan, and this isn't all of them for sure. This is just my experience with this particular officer. He spent a lot of time in the car coordinating air and things like that. He wasn't really out running and gunning with us. Obviously, some officers love to. We lost a great officer, Andy from 0224 on that deployment because he was out getting it with his boys. So things that you need to know. Recap. Officer, you're going to make more money. You're going to get more respect. You're going to have to do more time in regular Army before you're qualified to go to selection because you have to be first lieutenant promotable. You're going to get less team time. Your career path of success, if you qualify higher than your peers, will be desk jobs from your team time out, taking a company command, etc. So that's where you're going to have to look forward to as a Special Forces officer. That's the kind of career route. Enlisted, you get less money, you get less respect, but you get straight to Special Forces. You can go right to 18X contract and get on a team. You get more team time. You have to go do your SWIC time, then you can come back, and you can continue to be on an ODA as a senior enlisted guy. You can go the Fox route. A lot of you guys freaked out when I did the MOS video and I didn't talk about Foxes. That's not an MOS that you could sign up for. A Fox is an intel guy that any one of the senior guys on the team that wants to go that route could go to the school and become the team's Fox. Okay, it's a designator. It's not an MOS. So, all right, I brought up Fox. Everyone just calm down. I hope this helps you make a more informed decision on whether you want to go officer or enlisted. Again, I'm just here to help you guys make the best decision possible out the gate. It's a lot harder once you get in to start switching things up and changing your jobs and doing all these things. My best advice to all of you is figure out what you want to do and make sure you sign up for the contract that you want, for the career that you want out the gate. It's a lot easier than getting into the military and trying to change it. Talk to you guys later.
Alone inside these empty, broken walls, and I can't see it clearly, but it's obvious. I know